So I've got a question for you today, which is how often do you think about marketing your practice? So in other words, how often do you think about the amount of money, the cash that you spend on marketing for new patients each week? Do you wonder if the amount that you're spending right now to attract new patients is a healthy number? Is it enough? Is it too much? Or maybe you should be seeing more new patients as a result of that investment? If these questions circulate throughout your mind, then you've placed yourself in the same boat that probably over 70% of chiropractors I get the privilege of speaking to are in right this very moment. Marketing is it's a big concern. So new patient acquisition, which is marketing, it's far and away the most common challenge related to me by chiropractors when I speak to doctors outside of my company. So let's face it. If you don't see enough new patients, your practice will never be as successful as you dreamt of, right? So in this video, I will discuss with you how much you should be spending on marketing each month to fill your practice with enough quality new patients so that you can build your dream practice and, of course, your ideal lifestyle. I'm Dr. Tomshack, CEO of HealthSource, America's Chiropractor, and you're watching the Chiropractors Solution Channel, which is the video series that we put together that helps you grow your chiropractic practice and your career both professionally and personally. So before we dive into today's topic, marketing, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel so you can continue receiving these videos. And if you would please, if you enjoy the video, give us a thumbs up to make it easier for other chiropractors to find this content and content very similar to it. So let's start off with what happens when you log into your email every single morning, which I'm sure you probably do. Pretty much everybody does that. So what do you see? Come on. You probably see the same thing I see, which is anywhere from 5 to 10 emails from people trying to sell you their whiz-bang chiropractic new patient marketing program. Many of them come from DCs trying to sell you this stuff. Now, I have to confess, I've become a little jaded. I've become a lot jaded over the years because maybe like you, I've spent a great deal of cash, millions of dollars on all kinds of programs like this just to see what they were selling, see if there's something new that's working better. You may know that I'm sort of a unicorn in chiropractic. I actually have a degree in business and have studied it at the undergrad and graduate level. This doesn't make me any smarter than anybody else. It merely taught me how to think differently than most chiropractors, which in my case was done by being immersed in what was called then the Harvard Business School case study process. And this process taught me how to pick away the BS, if you will, and focus on what the real data is so that the hopefully better decisions can be made. That's how I built my first 4 clinics into the size that they became. It's also how I assembled the amazing team that helped me build my current company. So the first nugget today is that I'd like for you to grasp is that most of the marketing emails you get every single day are worthless. They're often sold to chiropractors that are desperate for more and better new patients. Hey, these people are just trying to build a business, but it shouldn't be done at your expense. So we've tested countless of them. Countless, and not a single one performed other than stuffing an office full of Groupon-style people, which nothing against them, but they're looking for something for nothing. And then in short order, even the window shoppers no longer respond to the ads. It's just the way it works. And there is a much better way and a more effective way to approach this particular issue with marketing. So more on that, however, in a number of future videos, because that's a lot of content. Now, the second nugget that you would probably prefer to take away from this particular video is the answer to the question of how many new patients do you really need each week? Do you know? Well, if not, you simply must track this number every day and every single week, every month, for as long as you own your practice. Better yet, have your front desk specialist track it for you and print you a short report every single day at the close of your office hours. You need to know your metrics. If we ignore everything else going on in your clinic, which really isn't the right way to do this over the long term, but it is absolutely fine for the short term. If your practice is smaller than you want it to be, then of course you know you need more new patients, correct? So we have to look at a lot of other variables as well. We both know that. Like case average, treatment plans. Do you offer wellness care? Do you prescribe appropriate supplements and products? Do you offer state-of-the-art rehab? The number of referrals you generate each week and each month, retention. The list goes on. There's a lot of other variables, but for now, let's just simplify it and only look at new patient creation. So if you want a bigger practice, chances are pretty great you need more new patients. But how many? How much more money spent on marketing will it take to get those? How much do you spend on marketing right now, and is it producing the desired result? Tell me about it in the comments below so everybody can learn from each other's experience. It's really important. Well, let's get back to knowing how many new patients that you need each week right now to build your dream practice. Probably the easiest way to think about this is to determine how big, at least right now, you want your practice to be. In other words, how much revenue do you want your practice to collect each year? Yes, we're making the assumption that the people coming into your practice, of course, need great care, and it's exactly what you're providing. No endless treatment programs, just great care delivering outstanding patient results. So let's do a hypothetical practice or scenario, if you will, so this makes better sense. If you want a $1 million practice and you right now average about 20 new converted patients a month, how many more do you need to take your practice to the $1 million mark, if that's your goal? Then it is for this scenario. So, well, we need more data. Specifically, you need to know your case average, which is the amount of revenue your typical patient brings into your practice before they transition to wellness care. Let's say your case average is $2,000 for this example. Simple, easy number. Fill in the correct data so this is extremely meaningful for you if you know it. Now, if you have 20 converted new patients a month coming into your office at a $2,000 case average, this means you should be at or near the $40,000 a month mark for clinic revenue. Understand? Now do the same calculation with your numbers, because I'm sure it's going to be different. Now, 12 months in this example at $40,000 per month in revenue means you have a $480,000 a year practice, almost $500,000 practice. This is a nice foundation from which to build your dream practice. It really is. So if your dream is that $1 million practice, you're about $520,000 short. Make sense? So if everything else stays constant, then you need more than double the amount of converted new patients you're attracting now, because 20 is yielding a $480,000 practice. So if you had an additional 21.67 more new patients, that would take your practice at a $2,000 case average to $1 million practice. So what's it going to take to now attract a total of 41.67 new patients a month? Well, first, honestly, a bump of 21 new patients in a single month over the short term, that's challenging, but a very doable hurdle. Write down how much you spend on marketing right now each month. What do you invest? Now convert that number to a percentage of your monthly revenue. My guess is that you're maybe 2 to 3% of revenue invested in marketing, though that may be high for you. And if 2% of your revenue is invested in marketing and you're now getting 20 converted new patients, we have to more than double what we call the ad spend or your marketing investment. So in this example of wanting to grow to $1 million practice, investing at least 5% and most likely 7% of total revenue into marketing, given the size of this practice, currently, well, that's a prudent place to be. I mean, 7% is a great place to begin. If the practice is now at $480,000, that means that a 7% ad spend or marketing investment, you should be investing about $2,800 per month into marketing. Once you swallow a few times and digest that number, the next point that you need to understand is that as your practice grows, what you invest in marketing should grow at a commensurate rate. That assumes, of course, that you want an even larger practice. And so then, of course, you need additional, more converted new patients to get there. Again, many of other variables, we're just focusing on this one, making it very simple. So again, we had this example in a bubble or a vacuum, holding other variables constant. And that's really not the way it happens in the real world, but for this example, it gives you a fantastic framework for your practice and on how to approach this type of thought process. Now, as some of the variables raise or lower, you can adjust how you run your practice accordingly and what you invest in a marketing spend. As referrals increase, marketing spend goes down. The holy grail is getting your clinic to the size that you want it to be. Now, once you're there, your marketing spend or investment can become fairly static, but other variables will ebb and flow, and that's normal. At that point, it's more a management issue or leadership issue, probably both, than a marketing issue. Now, as always, I welcome your feedback and opinions in the comments below, and I really do look forward to hearing from you as you build your dream practice, delivering phenomenal care to your community. And if you found this video on marketing investment and ad spend interesting and helpful, well, grab our free report for chiropractors at hsfranchising.com. It'll show you how to scale your state-of-the-art practice. It's the game plan we've followed to make 2021 our very best year of growth we've ever experienced. We blew away our projections. You can do the same thing. If you want what others have, do what they do, you'll get what they get. So again, head over to hsfranchising.com, grab the free report, and I hope you have a fantastic day.